I heard that shit all the way over there, up there. Regal, thank you so very much for your, how many months was that? 39 fucking months, woman. Holy shit. Thank you so very much for the 39 months. Thank you. Mwah. How are we, Dawn? How are you, Macabre? Hi, Draven, Maeve, Monkey Van, Meowerton. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You've got pussy? Nice, Monkey. Tell Timon I said hello, sweet boy. Hi, Steve. How are you? Oh, what a morning. Aurora Glenn. Thank you so very much for the 35-month resub. Oh, my goodness gracious. Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. How are we doing? You're back to 95%? Yes, Macabre. That's awesome. Hello, Deadwalk. Which is so weird because I have everything turned off. Unless it turned it back on again, which I would not doubt it. There we go. It did. It turned everything back on again. Lumia is great if you forget to turn shit on. Right? If you forget to turn stuff on, Lumia is great for that because it auto turns it on for you. Roth, good morning. Good morning. Yes, this is a Stephen King classic. It's one of his first movie adaptations being done, right, as Carrie, right? You're doing good, Aurora. Thank you so much for your resub. The 35 months. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. The lights out effect actually looked awesome in black and white. Ooh, I'll have to take a look at that. Am I too bright? I only ask because usually I run with just one light on. Like that is how I usually run, but I don't know if it's too dark. So that's too dark. Dark Breaker, look at you at a 3-stream streak. Thank you so very much for that. Thank you for streaking through the stream. Hey, A, good morning. I will be doing some stream work today, updates and shit. So Ake has a new sound that I will be creating and adding to the stream. If any one of my other subs, whether you're on YouTube or if you're on Twitch, if anybody here wants sound, that's one of the perks of being a subscriber on either a membership over on YouTube or a subscriber over on Twitch. You get to have a sound, you get to have a little entrance. It's really up to you. If you do, please hit me up in Discord. Hello, Deepak. How are you? Good evening. I have a lot of wonderful information for you guys today. A lot of wonderful information, and I cannot wait to get into it. It should be a good time. Thank you, Deadwalk. We're having tea again today, guys. Just tea again today because I have no fucking coffee. And while I never went out yesterday, really, so we having tea. Stream Elements is working. Where you? I am Monkey. I have to capture the sound. I have to find the sound. That's my issue. Hello, Stay. How are you? Good morning. Welcome to my little dark haunted side of the internet, or I should say Twitch. We are going to be deep diving into the Stephen King's Carrie from 1976. If this is your first time being here for a coffee chat of horrors, I'm just going to let you know that all of my alerts are actually off so it doesn't get interrupted. I want you guys to ask questions, join in the conversation, be a part of the horror discussion. Pepsi or Dr. Pepper? I'm going to have to go with Dr. Pepper. I'm not a pop drinker, but I'll have to go with Dr. Pepper over Pepsi. And I say that because Pepsi is way too fucking sweet. Dahi, good morning. Good morning. Hi, Scream Time. How are you? So yes, hi, Eric. Good morning. Oh, Blood and Popcorn. Nice. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome. So yes, if this is your first time here in a CCOH, ask questions, join the chat. Don't be afraid to discuss with me. The stream goes for about an hour. Usually deep dive is about an hour. The stream goes about an hour and a half because we do like to, have shenanigans. You only love Dr. Pepper too? Yeah, Don. So Stay asked the question, Pepsi or Dr. Pepper before we get going. And well, I'm a Dr. Pepper kind of gal. I don't drink a lot of pop. Like I barely drink pop, maybe 2 times a year. But if I was and I had a choice, yeah, it would be Dr. Pepper because Pepsi is just too sweet for me. Same thing with Coca-Cola. I'm not a huge Coca-Cola fan. I find it too fucking sweet. Too sweet. Hello, Sarcastic Freedom. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. How does the lighting look? Do I look too white? I know that's a fucked up question, but is it too bright? I shouldn't have said too white. Do I look too bright? I know I'm too white. I'm trying to figure out the black and white. Sometimes it's too bright. Sometimes it's too dark. I'm trying to find that nice medium. I was going to say the same thing. No Pepsi or Coke for me. Too sweet. Yeah, it's just, this shit's too sweet, man. I got off sodas about 10 years ago. Seltzer only. Nice, Eric. Nice. Well, yeah, pop is really bad for you. So is sugar. Also, I love coffee. I'm learning to make professional iced coffee. Congratulations, Stay. That's awesome. I fucking love coffee. It's my favorite beverage. And I like my coffee black. I don't like anything in it. Good morning, Reaper. How are you, darling? I love root beer. I love real root beer. When I say real root beer, it's more of a natural root beer than it is what you would buy A&W or what's the other one? Bargs? Yeah, Bargs. We got one espresso machine for not a long time ago. Nice, Daydot. I like espresso. It's one of my favorites. I like my coffee black. I like Americanos. I don't like anything in my coffee. Coffee is for closers. Right? Just like champagne is for the podium. You got to restart your ginger bug. Nice, nice, nice. All right, guys. We're going to head on over into Carrie. There's a little disclaimer for you guys in the next scene, just because sometimes shit can get scary. I loved last week's deep dive. I didn't know Maximum Overdrive was a king. Yes, it was. And if you missed last weekend's Coffee Chat of Horrors, we did deep dive into Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. There was a lot of great information. You can check that VOD out with chapters over on my YouTube channel. And yeah, believe it or not, it's actually taken from 2 short stories that were also turned into movies later on called The Night Shift and Trucks. Both are Stephen King short stories and both have been adapted into movies. But yes, Maximum Overdrive comes from both of those. And wait till you hear what I got for you about Carrie. Yeah. Good morning, Viper Fangs. How are you? That's it. Get the scrolling out of your system now, Ra. For those of you that are new here and you don't know me, I squirrel a lot, meaning that I get off of topic because it's just the way I am. So you'll hear my mods yell at me to focus because this can turn into 5 hours and we don't want that. Good morning, Feed Me. How are you feeling? I mean, Feed the Movies. How are you feeling? Carrie was a weird ass book. Well, I'm going to tell you about the book of Carrie, not the book of Eli, but the book of Carrie. I'm going to tell you how King wrote it and his perspective on how he wrote it and why it comes off differently than the movie. When I said I deep dive, I fucking deep dived. You're doing good. You're just waking up for the umpteenth time. Hey, it's a long weekend, guys. It's a long weekend. I know, no judging here. If you sleep all day off and on, you're good. Nice. I'm glad to hear that, Feed. All right. Hopefully there's no effing gremlins today, guys. I do apologize if there is, but let's hope not. Let's dive into our Coffee Chat of Horrors.
You like scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, welcome back from that disclaimer. Yes, we have a disclaimer. We have a disclaimer because, yeah, people. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Good morning, Shelly's. Good morning. We're going to discuss Carrie. Shelly, thank you for your 3-stream streak. Carrie is a perfect choice. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anyways, good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show like it that takes its coffee black like it's magic. And I love my black coffee, as you can tell. Today's screams comes from Stephen King's Carrie, so make sure you buckle up, ghouls, as we traverse the realms that nightmares are made of. And yes, Carrie was released in 1976, directed by Brian De Palma. For those of you that don't know what Carrie is about, Carrie is about a young woman by the name of Carrie White. She is shy. She is friendless. She is a teenage girl who is sheltered by her domineering, religious as fuck mother. And she learns to unleash her telekinetic powers after being humiliated by her classmates at her senior prom. And actually, the story leads up to where Carrie was humiliated numerous times before the prom, but that leads up to the prom. And we're going to dive into the trailer so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we are in for. Now, I know if some of you have not seen this, I will forewarn you, this will have spoilers in it, meaning that I talk about everything in this movie. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to highly recommend it that you go and watch Carrie. It is a classic. It is a masterpiece. It is great. So yeah, let's get into that. You have the perfect voice for doing this. Oh, well, thank you, Stay. I appreciate that. Feed. First time I saw this was with Alien when I was with my babysitter back in the era 80s HBO. Oh yeah, HBO. I remember HBO. It's still around. HBO Max now too, right? All right. Let me know if you guys can hear this properly. So you have a date with Carrie, and you hear how he said introducing John Travolta. This was John Travolta's big break, like big movie that he did. And it's so funny hearing and introducing John Travolta because he's such a big star, right? Oh, Carrie is one of your favorites. Nice. Oh, let me just make sure everything is looking mighty fine here. All right, perfect. Good morning, Jimmy. Yes, John Travolta is in the original. Sissy Spacek as well. Definitely see the original, guys. If you haven't seen the original, you won't regret it at all. Yeah, it was an interesting seeing John Travolta in it, right? You still love the original, especially for the cast. Hell yes, Roth. Hell yes. You're never gonna get to see that like that again. Jimmy, thank you so much for your 24-month resub. And using your Amazon Prime Gaming for it. I appreciate it. All right. So the budget for Carrie, guys, was $1.8 million USD. And in the box office, it hit $33.8 million in the US. We're talking about US, guys, US. It hit $33.8 million. Like that's a huge amount of money. Yeah, I can't stop it from I don't know why it keeps doing that, monkey, but thanks. So we may get interrupted by some stupid channel point sounds because I turned them off 5 million times and they keep getting turned back on. I don't want to get rid of them, so I want you guys to be able to still I want you guys to still be able to accrue. But there are some channel points that are allowed to be on, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I saw them off before the trailer. Then, yeah, there should be off still. But thank you. You can really see the Brian De Palma visual stamp evolving here. You really can, Eric. I love Brian De Palma. Maybe a dumb question. Why did Carrie kill the lady gym teacher at the end, only person to be nice to her? Because, okay, so Carrie, not only was she teased, so she has a PTSD of people pretending to be her friend and then you know, being her friend and then turning on her like a vicious dog. So, Chloe, to answer your question, is at the time of Carrie's mental telekinesis break, and she has a mental break because she doesn't really see what she's doing right from wrong, and everybody is paying regardless. Because as you can see, when the camera, you see Carrie looking like this on the stage, right? The camera pans the audience down below. So all of the school teachers and students down below. And she, in her mind's eye, they're laughing at her. The teacher's laughing at her. Her fellow peers are laughing at her. Meanwhile, they really aren't. The camera shoots back and then you actually see their face and they're mortified. You know what I mean? So right there that's why she sees as them laughing in her face. She has a mental break and all she sees is them laughing at her. And it's her trauma, her PTSD. DSD, thank you for the follow. But that is why Carrie ends up killing the majority of everybody there for that reason. And that's a good question, Chloe. Not a dumb question. There are never dumb questions at all, guys. Please ask away. At the same time, I don't think the remake is... There's a few remakes of Carrie, by the way. So if you're looking for Carrie, it's Carrie from 1976 is when it was released, starring Sissy Spacek and John Travolta. That is the original. Rage-induced blindness. Yeah, exactly. She also had a mental break because you can see from when, you know, the camera pans, she sees them all laughing at her. And all she hears is her mother, they're all going to laugh at you, right? So that's all she friggin' sees, even though the teachers' faces were mortified, you know, her friends were mortified. So you get to see that, and that is the reason why everybody dies, unfortunately. Hello, Amazing Halo. No, it didn't help at all. Not at all. You watch her go from sad to rage. Oh yeah, you seen her go from happy, ecstatic, I can't believe that this is happening to me, to like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened, to everybody laughing at her. Like, it was horrible what she went through. And it kind of goes with society and children themselves and how mean children can be, right? We know this. We all went to school, guys. We all went to school together, like not together, but we all went to school. So we know what it's like to, you know, have people tease us and make fun of us. This was the first Stephen King novel to be adapted into a movie. Yeah, so you may be wondering, you know, this is the first one. We've already spoke about Maximum Overdrive, and he has many of his novels and short stories have been adapted to film and TV series. Sissy Spacek's performance really sold it. Her facial expressions tell you how far over the edge they pushed her. Yeah, Sissy Spacek did an amazing job portraying Carrie White. 100%. I'm doing good, Amazing Halo. I can't complain. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. It helps being like a foot taller than most of your class. Oh, that too, Monkey. That definitely too. Yeah, so sad she was on cloud 9 when she was dancing. Yeah, I know, right? It was horrible. If Carrie having cursed to people from the entire school, people have sense to be instant curious. So Carrie is based on a composite. So this is where Stephen King got the idea for the novel in the first place. So let's start off with that. Carrie is based on a composite of two girls Stephen King observed while attending grade school and high school. Of one of them, he recalled she was a very peculiar girl who came from a very peculiar family. Her mother wasn't a religious nut. Oh my God, I almost said slut. Not like the mother in Carrie. She was a game nut, a sweepstakes nut who subscribed to magazines for people who entered contests. The girl had one change of clothes for the entire school year, and all of the other kids made fun of her. So that gives you an insight of what his book is like. So where he got his idea for his novel, right? And then I'm going to tell you how that novel reads if you've never read that novel before, because it does read differently than the movie. Okay, so we'll get into that. Hi, Deb. How are you? I saw Dead by Daylight. I do. I play horror games Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and every now and again on Monday. Stay dot. First book you ever read was probably about 5. Nice. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome. If you're just joining us for Coffee Chat of Horrors, we are deep diving into Carrie from 1976, Stephen King's novel that was adapted into a film. Good morning, Celtic. Good morning. Now, how King's novel reads, King's novel tells Carrie's story in a retrospect. It's comprised of multiple found footage documents, interview transcripts with the survivors of prom night, newspaper clippings, magazine excerpts, letters, and a lot more. The screenwriter, Lawrence D. Cohen, abandoned this in favor of a more linear narrative approach. So if you have read the book, you'll know the novel, you know it comes from that kind of perspective. It's a retrospect. It's compromised, it's comprised of found footage type of documents, interviews, transcripts, yada yada. The movie does not portray it that way. You're actually watching it in linear, right? Stephen King has a house in Maine. Yeah, he does. Pretty cool place. Ghouls and bats built into his fence. Why not, right? The TV movie tried to play off the book. It didn't fly. Mother dying by flying knives, way more dramatic. Well, yeah. So we'll get to that feed. We'll get to that. I have that down below about the differences between the novel and the movie. So we'll have a little bit of what you can see is different from the novel. But I would tell you, if you're a reader, go find Carrie if you can from Stephen King. You'll enjoy it. Here's another quirky little thing that I found while researching. Did you know that George Lucas, when George Lucas and Brian De Palma were holding auditions, both Star Wars and Carrie were sharing the same area. So they literally auditioned Carrie Fisher for the role of Carrie. So I thought it was quite cool that they were actually auditioning at the same place at the same time. George Lucas was getting his people to audition and vice versa. Could you imagine the main lead boy from Carrie being Luke Skywalker? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Hi, Twiz. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. No, don't ever apologize, Stay Dot. I squirrel on my own. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. The fact that they did it at the same time, and it could have, we could have had Carrie Fisher playing as Carrie instead of, Princess Leia. Like, what? I thought that was pretty cool. So we could have an alternate universe. Where Carrie Fisher is Carrie. You are right, Dahi. They need to make a movie, The Talisman and Black House. Think it would be awesome. Is that a Stephen King novel? Knowing Carrie's sense of humor, that could have been something amazing. Yeah, but it's not the humor that I would be worried about with Carrie Fisher. It's the psychotic telekinesis break that really took the role for Carrie. And that's where Sissy Spacek fucking won that visual, right? It's really hard to say another actor or actress would be a good part for that because of that one iconic scene in the high school once the pig blood is dumped on her. And yes, no, it wasn't real blood. It wasn't pig blood that was dumped on her. It was a mixture of different things that was dumped on Carrie. But I don't know if Fisher would have been able to pull off that psychotic break that Sissy Spacek was able to do. That scene is just, it's iconic. And then she really brings that mental break, not just physically, but emotionally on her face and in her eyes. Amy Irving also was a Leia. Yeah, of course, we're going to talk about it. PJ Souls was in here as well. This was John Travolta's first film as well. There's a lot of firsts for a lot of the big actors and actresses that we see nowadays. John Travolta, like I was saying, this was his first film. Where it says in the beginning, introducing John Travolta, right? You love this stream. Couldn't leave the follow button alone. Well, I appreciate it. And thank you for the follow, Stay Dot. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I didn't say thank you earlier. My sounds are off, so I don't get notified. But I appreciate you coming in here, chatting with us, giving us a follow. Much appreciated. Now, the ending of the movie is different. This is where Feed was also talking about a few things. So the ending of the movie is a bit different than the ending from the novel. And in fact, Stephen King liked the ending in the movie better than the ending in his own book. Stephen King has a habit of not liking movies made out of his books. He does. And that's why he said, screw it. If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. And that's why he did it with Maximum Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive was the very first and last movie he directed. And his words were, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. And he did Maximum Overdrive for the one time and only ever. Yeah, that almost never happens with King movies. Never, never. Yep. We've got an ad break incoming on the Twitch side of things in about 24 seconds. So we're going to continue talking about this, and then we're just going to squirrel. Few authors ever end up liking their film adaptations. Oh, exactly, Dahi. And Stephen King is notorious for not liking them. Really notorious for not liking them. Which, I don't know. I gather if, I don't know, maybe he sees it as his work of art being trashed, I guess. Movie more than the book, I mean. Maybe I should drink the coffee too. Which one do you prefer, Monkey? Did you read the book? Did anybody read the book, Carrie? I didn't. But I own it. I got it for my spawn and it's sitting in my house. Yeah, Sissy Spacek. Definitely. I have my spawn is a Stephen King fan, so she moved, so her books are here. You will love both the book and the movie. How do you guys feel about the remakes? Nope, never read the book. I haven't, but I'm curious to finally check it out now, though. Nice. I would, if you do read the book, the novel, Carrie, please let me know what you guys thought of it. You love Stephen King, period. That's awesome, Deb. That's awesome. All right, we are on a Twitch break, ad break right over here for 1 minute and 25 seconds, guys, so we get to squirrel the shit out of this. You prefer the film? Nice, Eric. Hard nope on the remakes. I didn't find the remakes too bad, to be honest with you. I'm an OG lover. However, the remakes weren't horrible. And there were several remakes of this film. They're not horrible. Coal Miner's Daughter. Yes, the Coal Miner's Daughter was awesome one. Amazing. You haven't seen the remakes, just the OG? The remakes aren't bad. Well, the remakes are from Stephen King's novel. They're not Stephen King's movies. He didn't direct them. He only directed one movie ever, and that was Maximum Overdrive. And if you want to catch my Maximum Overdrive deep dive from last weekend, just head over to my YouTube channel and you can check it out there. You have the OG and the second movie. Nice, Darkbreaker. The remakes were the remakes were okay. They weren't as good as the first one, obviously. Morning, Mischief. Any movie that's done from a King novel, Stephen King has played it. Oh, yes. He is in every single one of the adaptations of his novels. He makes sure his ass is in every film that's about his novels. I love the book. I'm a big King fan. Nice. I think King puts so much personal stuff in the books. He's sensitive about the adaptations, hence The Shining. Yeah, I heard he hated The Shining, but we may add The Shining to our CCOH list. We have a nice list coming up of awesome deep dives. Reaper and I have been curating numerous films for your scary movie pleasure. Maximum Overdrive, or Maxine, it reminded me about X. Okay, so Maximum Overdrive is a film from Stephen King's novel, short stories actually, Trucks and the Night Shift. I would definitely recommend checking out my YouTube channel and going to my Coffee Chat of Horror my Coffee Chat of Horror deep dives, and check out Maximum Overdrive. It is a great movie. It is another Stephen King adaptation. Emilio Estevez is in it. But X and Pearl and Maxine are a totally different genre, and that is Ty West. And I don't believe any of those films were a Stephen King novel. John Travolta was already in Scientology by Carrie. This is his first movie, Macabre. This is John Travolta's first movie. In the beginning of the trailer, you hear them say, and introducing John Travolta. That very first movie for him, which I thought was quite cool to see that as well. So the book is written like news. Yes, that's what I said. That's how the book is written. It's like found footage. That's what I said earlier. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Thank you for the follow, 13. I appreciate it. Loved your Maximum Overdrive episode. The movie deserves more love. Oh, 100% the movie deserves more love. It's a great film. Thank you. I wanted to save these movies too. I think it'd be interesting with the mom issues in Pearl. Yeah, I'm interested to see that one. Maxine, I've seen all the other two. All right, so several cast members thought this movie was a comedy. So when they were reading it, they thought it was a comedy, and whoa, boy, were they so friggin' wrong. Piper Laurie, who played Carrie's mother, Margaret, thought that the movie was a dark comedy based on the script. Well, boy, oh boy, was she wrong. The ad break is over, so that's why we're starting back up again. Books and movies are very different mediums and require different executions. 100%. Something like Misery makes better transition to film verse something like Carrie. Yeah, I love Misery. I don't know what script they were reading, but they thought it was a dark comedy. The Ring, so Piper Laurie, she's reading this. She's like, oh, it's a dark comedy. As a viewer, I seen this movie as a young demon. I didn't find any comedy in this, nor dark comedy. I still don't find any dark comedy or comedy in this film whatsoever. And that's where Nancy Allen, she plays the lead bully, Chris Hargensen. She and Travolta both thought they were comic relief. So going back to that whole, dark comedy, Nancy and John Travolta, who were the lead bullies, thought they were comic relief and not the actual bullies. It wasn't until later did Nancy Allen realize how evil she came across and how evil she actually was. Yeah. Good morning, Vald Vagina and Rosie. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. If you're just joining us on any platform that you're watching us on, we are deep diving into Carrie from 1976, based on Stephen King's novel, Carrie, in the same word. There isn't much unless you laugh at people having accidents. Yeah, consider Toxic Avenger a dark horror. Oh yeah, Toxic Avenger is awesome. Anyone here know Toxic Toe? Yes, I do, Vald. Haven't seen Toxic Toe in a long time, actually. So yeah, they all thought they were comic relief and dark comedy. Nancy Allen was, she was quite upset later on. I don't know what his name now is, Vald. I haven't seen them in a long time. Nancy Allen was pretty upset after the fact that she's seen, and if you watch a movie, Into the Darkness? I believe it was in one of the Into the Darkness documentaries where they sit down with Nancy Allen, and she actually discusses her role as Chris, the bully, and it still hurts her. It bothers her that she was portrayed to be so evil and the reason for the demise of her entire school class, Hi, Newman. How are you? Hi, Maury. Good morning. So yes. Now, you guys remember Amy Irving? She has a ring that she wears throughout the movie. That ring was gifted to her from Stephen King. Yeah, that I thought was pretty cool. So if you rewatch Carrie, which I know I will be seeing it probably this afternoon while I do some work, if you rewatch it, take a look at her hand and the ring that she wears. That's the gift from Stephen King. Now, I know we all love Sissy Spacek in her acting in Carrie. She went to super great lengths to get into character. For her audition, now this is just her audition and how hard she went into her audition. Sissy put on Vaseline in her hair. So she brushed it through her hair. She wore an old dress from middle school, and she didn't brush her friggin' teeth before going to the audition. The makeup staff tried to fix her because they didn't realize that she did it deliberately. She wanted this part. She knew that this part was for her. And so she went hard. She didn't brush her teeth. She looked disheveled. She looked like the part of Carrie. And, I thought that was great. Obviously, she got the part, right? Chris was way worse in the 2013 remake. Yes, Monkey. Into the Darkness 3? Yes, I know it was in one of them, Into the Darkness. I watch all of them. I own them all. But I know Nancy Allen's interview is in one of them, and she does speak about her feelings on her character in Carrie. Yeah, they all were. 70s movies? Yeah, Newman. Yeah, even in her audition. But I'm going to tell you some more about Sissy and how diehard she was to get into this character. During the filming of the movie, Spacek deliberately isolated herself from the rest of the cast to inject a little realness into Carrie's relationship with the other characters. We know a lot of actors do this. Gunnar Hansen did it in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So we know quite a few actors actually do this so they can have that real tension and drama in between them and the separation. And it all paid off. As you can tell, it really did pay off in this film. Spacek earned an Oscar nomination for her performance for Carrie, which is amazing, especially back then, right? While she was filming this, and you know the bloody prom sequence? Okay, so Sissy Spacek's trailer was parked behind the set. After being covered in fake blood, which is what you see on her is fake blood. It is not paint. It's not pig's blood. It's just fake blood. And for continuity, oh my goodness. So you have continuity purposes. Jesus. Spacek refused to wash off the effect. So when she got all bloody, once you do a scene a certain way and you have to redo it, nothing is ever the same. So for continuity purposes, she made sure she didn't wash herself. She didn't get cleaned up. So she stayed like that. She also elected instead to sleep in her bloody clothes for the 3 days of filming. Yeah, so the scene happened. She's covered in fake blood, head to toe. This shit's dripping off of her. Instead of saying, I'm going to go and clean up, she stays in that shit. She sleeps in that shit. 3 days of filming. Tell me that's not hard effing core. Yeah, commitment. Like, wow. Insane. Ted White did that for Friday. Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that for, separate themselves from the cast to get that feel, right? Sticky fake blood. It had to suck, especially in the 70s. Too much cocaine. Possibly. We have no idea what was going on around there. Tommy's hair in this movie was priceless. Yeah. Sissy actually did set design on the Del Palma Phantom of the Paradise in 74. Exactly, Deadwalk. Dedication, man. That is dedication. And I don't know, do we still see that in films? Do we still see that dedication? If you ever do anything in the movie industry or make horror short films for yourself. Like, I like to do little things, and continuity is a huge thing. So I understand not wanting to have to redo a scene and it looks different from the original one, because it happens. You're never going to get the same blood splatter. You're not going to get the same drips. You're not going to get the same everything in another take. So I definitely understand her die-hardness when it comes to that. Corn syrup, red dye, not fun. No, and it was a lot of, I don't have the exact ingredients of the fake blood, but it was fake blood. That's a Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive moment there. Yep. I also heard Meryl Streep stays in character for her movies. Wouldn't surprise me that a lot of the older actresses and actors actually do that. I think it's quite cool that they dedicate so much to their character. Hey, stay tapping. House is a great movie. PJ Souls. Now we're getting to PJ Souls here. PJ Souls, you may know her from a movie called Halloween. PJ Souls actually got hurt during the scene. There's a water hose scene during the prom, and PJ Souls actually got hurt. Now, Carrie kills Norma with a fire hose, right? That's who PJ Souls plays. And although a stunt woman handled most of the work, Souls performed the close-up work. So that was her in that close-up scene. During the take, the pressurized water hit her directly in the ear and it busted her eardrum. Like, ouch. Ouchies. I don't know if anyone's ever here has hurt their eardrum before, but it's not a good fucking time. Yeah, the water pressure, boom, punched her right in the eardrum. Oh, stay tapping. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I do have a torture rack behind my morgue. Of course, monkey. 32 drops of green per gallon and fake formula on white material. Yes, Newman. There's actually a few different ways to make your fake blood. I've heard that in numerous documentaries. You get the drink from the fire hose, right? PJ got Halloween because Carpenter loved her in Carrie. Yep. But yeah, she actually got hurt on this set. And that sucks. Eardrum being busted. Yeah, not a good time. Now we're going to get a deleted scene here. This is something that you don't have in the movie. Obviously, deleted scene. Now, there is a deleted scene that gave us more of a background onto Carrie's childhood. And that deleted scene shows Carrie as a young girl being abused and disciplined by her mother after being caught talking to a girl in a bikini. This triggers the first manifestation of her powers, a meteor shower that falls from the sky and lands on her house. That scene was cut out. That's an interesting scene. I don't know why it was cut out, what purposes on why it was. No idea why. But that was deleted, and all because Carrie spoke to a chick in a bikini. I couldn't imagine living with a mom like that. Yeah, interesting. I don't know why. I couldn't find a reason why they removed it. Like, once I found that piece of information, I super deep dived it. I put exactly that into Google. And I couldn't find the reasoning. I found a lot of information, but just not the reason why it was actually deleted from the scene. Now, in Carrie's house, the statue of a religious figure shot with arrows represents Saint Sebastian. It is not a crucifix and does not represent Jesus Christ. You guys remember that scene? Maybe they wanted more of a shock factor when she and it's a possibility, very big possibility, Dahi, that they wanted more of a shock factor because we know what happens towards the end and how the house caves in, right? She did have her dirty pillows exposed. This scene is so cool. It's on a DVD anniversary. Yes, any of the deleted scenes are usually on a anniversary or director's commentary. So you can actually watch it. It takes a level of professionalism normally only held by gay men to properly take a blast in the face from a hose. Monkey, how long were you holding on to that? With De Palma, flow was really important. I think the deleted scene wrecked the flow, and it could have. I don't know. I haven't actually seen it for myself. So, I don't know. But yeah, in Carrie's house, the religious fixtures that you see, especially the statue is not a crucifix, and it does not represent Jesus Christ. I thought that was pretty cool. Hi, Neo. A lot of fake blood. She had a lot of fake blood. I don't know the tally of the amount of fake blood Carrie had dumped on her, but it was a lot. And she did sleep in those clothes, Neo. So if you're just joining us, Sissy Spacek slept in those clothes for 3 days. 3 days. She had that scene happen, and she did not want to disrupt the continuity of that scene, so she stayed in those clothes until the scene was finished. 3 days. Now, we know Gunnar Hansen from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He also did the same thing, and it was because, one, he only had one outfit for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so if that one got screwed, that's it. Same thing with Sally Hardesty. When she wore her clothing, once it got all bloody and everything, there was really no washing. They wet it so it wouldn't be so stiff on them, but there was no washing of anything. Yeah. Jesus in the closet scared the shit out of me. Yeah, that's a creepy looking Jesus. I don't know. But, the Jesus looks like Carrie's look on the stage. Long enough that I even proofread it. That's funny, Monkey. Oh, I almost thought I hit something on my Steam Deck. Okay, that is a creepy spot where the Jesus was in the closet and the eyes were glowing. Yeah, that scene, that image sticks with you. You believe her mom was evil? Her mom had mental health issues, Neo. Margaret, she had mental health issues. Most likely her childhood was probably brought up in a very super religious home, and we know what happens with super religious people. We've seen it. We've seen cults that do the same thing as well. They brainwash you, and you are raised in a brainwashed state where you're told everything you do as a woman or whatever it may be is evil. And that could have been Margaret's childhood. It could have been, maybe after her husband left, boom, that something broke inside of her. I don't think Margaret was evil. I don't think she was an evil person. I think she had a lot of trauma, PTSD, and in the 70s, being a single mother, that was not good. That was not good. The family dynamic in the 70s, yeah, no, totally different level. Totally different level. I don't think she was evil at all. The creepy glowing Jesus in the closet, it sticks with you. Good morning, Draven. And I understand that. Religious trauma is no joke. It messes you up really bad. Yeah, it does. Definitely. Especially if you're grown up in that. Yes, we did lose Piper Laurie. Yeah. I mean, it's not the only reason, but yeah. She thought she had cancer when she was pregnant. She did not realize what it was. Yeah. So I think there is more to it with Margaret than just being an evil mom, When she talks about Carrie's father, it made clear she grew up in a strict religious culture and suffered from cognitive dissonance. Yes. Then her husband came home drunk and they had wild sex. Yeah. The tombstone hand scene always scares the shit out of me. That's a great scene. The remake was somewhat different. Oh, the remakes, and there's several, the remakes are very different. Yeah. Watching the documentary for the 74 film was wild, especially the conditions for filming of the final scene. Yeah, Newman, for TCM, insane what they did. I do have a TCM deep dive on my, I actually have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode series that I did on my YouTube channel. It's older, but I deep dive into Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I also did a deep dive on Coffee Chat of Horrors on TCM. All of that is over on my YouTube channel. They were live. I do have them cut into chapters for easier viewing. You have not seen this one. Oh, Draven, you need to find Carrie from 1976. Julianne Moore playing her in 2013 scene fleshed her character out more. Interesting. You had a childhood friend with the same type of mother. That shit is real. I would never come over to his house. Yeah. It's crazy the kind of stuff that people have gone through, and you raise your kids that way, right? So Margaret had a lot of issues. And when she was raising Carrie, she raised Carrie in the best way she knew in her own messed up mind. And you see what happens with Carrie, right? Now, Del Palma uses a lot of reverse filming throughout the movie. So there is a shot here we're going to talk about. De Palma shot in reverse a couple of times to create his desired effect. For the scene where Carrie impales Margaret with knives, De Palma strung the knives on a thread and pulled them from Margaret's body. So there's her body, right? She's up on the wall, and he puts them where he needs them. They're on string. And he just pulls them, and he pulls them out of the body of Margaret. He then ran the shot in reverse to make it look like the knives were flying towards her. I don't know if anybody ever wondered how they made that scene without like poking out an eyeball. How they created that scene is she was there. They put the knives on her, right, in the spots that they're supposed to be, threaded string through them. And then when they needed it to go, obviously pulled it, they all came flying out, and then you just reverse it and they all go flying in. And that's a really, really cool practical effect from the 70s. I mean, that shit was awesome. Yes, and Christine for the car. Yes, he did. He definitely did. I believe I did a deep dive on that as well, Newman. I may have to redo my Christine deep dive. I love Christine. It's one of my favorite films. I didn't even realize my life was normal until my dad left and my mom put me in 4-H so she could get financial help as needed. I was 15 and figured out how weird I was. Yeah, in religious, in heavy religious families, yeah, that's shitty, Draven. No, I would never have guessed that either, Dahi. I thought that was a really cool thing to do. I think she felt she was protecting Carrie from the evils of society. She definitely was. She was being a mother. And our goal as a mother is to protect our children. The 70s, that must have been hell on the editor. Yeah, I don't know how that would have went. The knives were super effective. She got her crucifixion. She did. Christine, which is also the basis for Halloween Ends. Yeah. Yes, it is, Eric. You swear to God, they took Christine and plopped it right on top of Michael Myers and Halloween. It's Christine. It is literally Christine, but with Michael Myers. Kinda like some blood splatter on face effect. They use a squirt gun. Yeah, I use a squirt gun as well for when I do my cosplays. My cosplays are usually bloody. I have numerous ways of creating the blood on my face and body. Because I studied how they do it in special effects and how they do, depending on the splatter I want. If I want arterial spray across my face, I know how to do that. And so I utilize some of the same techniques that they do in movies for my own cosplay. And the blood where I put my blood is on purpose. Because if I was stabbing somebody coming like this, the blood splatter from that would be in a different area, and anything being covered by my arm and hand would be clean compared to the other parts of my body or where I was stabbing them, right? So being very intentional on my blood and cosplay. You love it. So we're such horror nerds. I am, Newman. It's all I do. My hobby, when I'm not streaming, creating content, or working full time, or playing video games, I read about horror. I'm currently on a classic movie making novel now. The Science of Blood Splatter. Yes, Eric. And my favorite is Dexter. Wow, nice connection. I missed really? You missed the Christine in the connection with Ends. Oh God, no, the whole fucking movie is Christine just labeled Halloween. The minute I seen Halloween Ends, I was like, that's just the ripoff of Christine. Like, can you please get fucking original? Tommy asked her cause Sue asked him, that's all. Then he actually had a good time. That's why I just got an 8-pack of spray bottles. Some of them are for plants and some of them... Yeah, I have spray bottles that I use for just spray blood. We know how, apply the blood, monkey, cereal, and heavy help hide the bodies. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like the faces that I have laying around my house. Shh, don't worry. No one's looking for them. Yes, it does, Draven. Sometimes the greatest harm comes from the best intentions. You are 100% right. And there is no playbook or handbook on how to be a parent. You're just bringing your generational trauma from your parents into your children. That's what happens. We all have been there. We all have done it. And Carrie's mom, Margaret White, is no different. Did you know George Romero had a movie series like Stories? Yes, I did, Neo. Yes, I did. And you can actually get a hold of his comic, too. I remember William Matt as the Great American Hero. Yeah, me too, Chloe. I used to watch that show all the time. All right. Now, at the end of the film, as we are getting a little bit closer to our end here, we're going to start talking about a few little things. Another scene. At the end of the film, when Sue is walking towards Carrie's grave, Del Palma actually filmed the scene with Sue walking backwards. This is another part where I told you that he did a lot of reverse filming. Okay. So she's walking and he films her walking backwards away from the grave. He then ran the shot in reverse to make her walk forwards in order to give the scene a dream-like quality. If you look in the background of the scene, which I know you're going to do now, you can see the passing cars driving in reverse, which gives away the illusion. And when you're first watching this movie, you're not going to notice that. It's usually like I notice these things on my second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th rewatch. That's why I rewatch movies so much. It's because there's so much you miss. Your first viewing, you're excited, you're enthralled in it, you're not really noticing anything else. Your second viewing, you've already know what's going to happen, so you're now looking at the other shit. And then on your third viewing, same thing. I've viewed numerous movies. I can't even tell you how many times, and each time I watch them, I find something new. I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't see that before, and then I'll pull that out, and then I'll research exactly that. You never notice the cars driving in reverse? Nobody does, especially on your first watch. You may not even get it on your second watch. Hello, Vanessa. How are you? Great use of film technique to create a sense of unease instead of just using Dutch. Yes, exactly, Eric. Very first jump scare ever. Awesome. Savini got the idea. Friday the 13th from Carrie. Chris is a bully that told Carrie she eats shit. Yeah. It's a good movie, man. Good movie. Fun fact about George Romero, he and many others in horror were also involved. Yes, I have and own that entire series, Newman. I actually have a biography of George Romero. I have a lot of books. When I tell you I like horror and I read, I've got numerous books on directors, filmmaking. I just like learning about that stuff. So there's a lot that I have learned just by reading some of the books that I own. And we're going to have an ad break right here over on Twitch. So we get to squirrel over a volleyball game too. That's pretty extreme. Yeah. But yeah, talking about my books, I love, I have Cult of Horror as well, which is another really cool book. This one right here. We have an ad, so I'm going to squirrel a little bit, guys. This book is pretty awesome. It talks about an introduction into cult horror. It talks about, aliens and weird science, body horror, creatures, zombies, even Carrie. So all I have to do is open up some of my books and I get some of my research from here. So yes, some of my research is literally from opening up the books that I own and not just the internet or director's commentaries. Yeah, because I love horror. I love learning about it. It's when you can read about it instead of just pulling some shit off the internet, because anybody can add anything to IMDb. This is why I don't copy and paste from IMDb. I don't copy and paste from anything because a lot of the times people get their shit wrong. So I like to look at interviews. I like to look at my Fangoria magazines. If I know that there was a documentary I watched with Carrie in it, I would turn that on and watch it. That's why it takes me so long to do my research. My research takes me about a week. I usually start working on it a week before this goes on. So close to 2 weeks of research goes into my coffee chat of horrors. You should check out the Del Palma documentary. There's a few documentaries I would like to watch, and Argento's is one of them that's over on Shudder. I need to go harder on my books this year. Yeah. Does Stephen King ever do horror conventions? I have not seen him at any of the horror conventions I have gone to, so I don't know. But welcome back from the ad, guys. Welcome back. We were just talking about the film effects that De Palma used to create some of these scenes. He used a lot of reverse filming. And so you heard me talk about when Sue is walking to Carrie's grave. Now... Riggs, good morning, Regal. Pig's blood was spilled upon the stage. She was being laughed. Yeah, that she was Vanessa, and it was fake blood, not pig's blood, but in the movie it was. I always pull old issues from Fango. Me too, Eric. I have a huge collection because I used to buy Fangoria magazines as a little girl, and I used to buy these. There's only 2 of them. There's this is my Freddy Krueger magazine, A Nightmare on Elm Street. There's only 2 of them. The first edition and the second edition. This one's the first issue, the very first issue. I have a lot of that stuff. And I go to horror conventions and I buy stuff from the horror convention that people are selling. Usually they'll sell like Fangoria magazines for $5. And these aren't the great issues. They're just the middle issues. Some of the issues I've missed because I wasn't old enough to buy Fangoria at that time, right? I started buying Fangoria magazine at about 11, 12 years old with my own money. So there's a bunch of issues that I'm missing. Mind you, that was in the 80s, so I'm not missing years of stuff. I'm just missing a couple of issues from before I was actually born and before I started buying them. I still have them. I actually just recently stopped my Fangoria subscription, but I go to the old ones. Regal, thank you for the 25 stream streak on Twitch. That's friggin' awesome, woman. Thank you, thank you. Your first issue was the Halloween 3 issue. Nice. I'd have to actually go back in mine. I don't remember my very first issue. I bought that I was probably around 11 years old. I had a newspaper out, and I would go down to the corner store, which was a 7-Eleven, and I would buy my Fangoria magazines there. I am now old as fuck, and I can't remember my first one that I bought. Yeah, the subscription for Fangoria magazine is hugely expensive. Hello, Kratos. How are you, darling? For those of you just joining us, we are deep diving into Carrie, 1976 from Stephen King's novel, Carrie. We are coming towards the tail end of our show, but I'm going to talk to you about the scene. In the last scene of the film, Amy Irving's outburst terrified her mother, her real-life mother, Priscilla Pointer, that she screamed out Amy instead of Sue. She had never seen her daughter that hysterical and called out her real name in concern. However, the loud ending music covered the mistake. Yeah, so look out for that one as well. You'll also notice in this movie a little throw to Psycho. I don't know if you guys heard it in the trailer at all when we watched the trailer. There was a little of the in the trailer. There's also a little bit of that in Carrie. She has an extreme mother of her own. She drags her into the closet. Yeah, she does, Vanessa. Margaret White was definitely messed up. Well, thank you, Feed. I try to do the best when I bring you the information that I bring you. Self-care is very important. I do agree. Getting carried away in here. Got it. Yep. So while speaking at a book event in Fort Myers, Florida in 2010, Stephen King recalled that he was paid just $2,500 for the movie rights to Carrie 1976, which may seem like a pittance, but he has no regret. He says, and I quote, "I was fortunate to have that happen to my first book." End quote. So yeah, that was pretty cool to hear that his first book, he has his first movie adaptation, and this is his first novel that has ever been adapted into a film. So it's a first for Stephen King on numerous levels. And I thought that was quite cool, knowing that this was the first of firsts. We got an ad break has just begun over on the Twitch side of things, so we'll squirrel a little bit. No, Chloe, Carrie was not based on a true story. However, if you've missed it earlier, so earlier today, we spoke where King got his inspiration from for writing Carrie. So I'll go over that again so you have that here while we're on an ad break over on Twitch. So Carrie is based on the composite of two girls Stephen King observed while attending grade school and high school. Of one of them from a very peculiar family. Her mother was not religious. She was also a very peculiar girl. Her mother was more of a contest nut. She liked games. So you would enter in contests in the mail and all that, sweepstakes. She was a sweepstakes nut. And the girl that he went to school with only had one change of clothing for the entire school year. So obviously this girl was ridiculed. She was picked on. She was beat up. And this is where he had the inspiration to write the book Carrie. Yeah. It's refreshing. Most podcasts don't usually do the work. They get dates and names wrong, make the geek in me crazy. I love your outfit and background. Oh, well, thank you, Twiz. I appreciate that. Have you ever seen my murder basement? Is the ad over on Twitch done with? I didn't get a notification. Oh, is it finishing now? Perfect. The ad is finishing. If you stay around another couple of minutes, I'll give you a tour of my murder basement. And just for inflation, $2,500. Yeah. That's a lot of fucking money. Hey, Eric. Raw really takes time off. I don't take time off. I don't. I work 7 days a week. Besides full time, and my part-time content creation. I work every day. There is no time off. There's no time for the wicked. You did see the murder basement last weekend, but I'm not sure if Twix seen it. All right. The locker scene. We all know this locker scene, and most of us women that were at that age, this is a frightful fucking scene on every level. You know, as a young girl, you've had accidents at school. Every girl has. And this shower scene is mortifying. It's embarrassing. It sucks on every level. And I can relate to this, not for the shower scene, but what happens, getting her period for the first time, not knowing what it is. All of a sudden, she thinks she's dying. She has no idea what's going on. And the other girls, instead of actually helping her to understand, they just teased her and thrown pads at her. And, that was quite mean. And, growing up, when you hit that age as a young female, that happens. Yeah, it's quite fucking scary. You have no idea what's going on, and you're embarrassed because you don't know other people go through it, especially if your parents didn't talk to you about it, just like Carrie's mom never told her about menstruation. And it's sad to see in this movie, but it does give you an idea of what girls go through. Tommy Ross was knocked out when the bucket fell on the stage. That he was, Vanessa. Many of the girls present in the locker room were originally very hesitant to appear nude in the film. But after Brian De Palma showed them the nude shots of Sissy Spacek, they became more confident. So they were really a little leery about that. Nobody was really leery on the whole shower scene, yelling at her, having the blood on her hands, that kind of thing. They were more hesitant on being nude in the shower scene, but you really can't be dressed in the shower, right? So, but that's what I have for you guys on Coffee Chat of Horrors, deep dive into Carrie from 1976. I think we are ending on, oh, hell yeah, we are ending on time for CCOH. I don't end just yet. That's just the CCOH portion. I want to thank you guys. I hope you all had an enjoyment with Carrie. If you have any questions about Carrie, please shoot. I want to hear your questions. It sucks when Carrie hasn't been told about feminism in her life. Well, no, because her mom, right? Her mom was raised in a very strict religious house, which she then raised her own daughter in a strict religious house. And her mother was praying that she would never get her menstruation. You see her prayer. She prays for that. The fact that she has boobs, mom is so upset about. And, you know, it's really sad. Loved my first time. Very entertaining. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Yes. I appreciate you stopping in. Definitely. I love doing Coffee Chat of Horrors. I've been doing CCOH for about 6 years now. So we are on season 6 of CCOH. I deep dive into horror movies every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We have a huge list of horror coming for you guys. Like, I've got a huge list, and I think we're gonna do maybe a double feature next weekend, because there are movies that I want to talk about, but some they're not as popular. So there's not as much information on them, and I really have to do some digging, like some major fucking digging. So we may have a double feature. I haven't decided. Boobs, aka dirty pillows. Yes. Who was the little boy in Carrie's movie with the bike? I don't think I came upon that at all. Are you going to make making live again next? Yes, every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, Don. I am live. Let me go take a look at what our next, some of our upcoming films. I'm not going to tell you which one's going to be next. I'm not going to tell you the order of the list. However, I'm going to let you know. There we go. Eric got it for you. The bike kid was Del Palma's son. I wasn't really sure because I didn't come upon that. All right, so we have, this is where we're going to do our double feature when we do Brain Damage, because Brain Damage doesn't have a whole hell of a lot on it. We did Night of the Creeps, and we've done Maximum Overdrive. Killer Clowns is going to be on the list. Killer Clowns, Motel Hell, Brain Damage. Yeah, Brain Damage will be a double feature. We have Ghoulies coming up. We recently did Maximum Overdrive. We're doing The Prince of Darkness again. I did The Prince of Darkness many years back, and I feel that I need to redo it. We also have coming Vamp from 1986, Monster Squad, The Fly, not the original, the remake with Jeff Goldblum. We also have the Poughkeepsie tapes coming. Now, Near Dark as well. And let me just see where else I have. Reaper has been like kicking ass and creating all of my imagery here. So yeah, we have a whole bunch of movies lined up for the next several Sundays. I do take requests. Near Dark was an actual request. A lot of 80s classics. And I like talking about movies that aren't well known out there. We know The Fly is somewhat well known, but Ghoulies, Brain Damage. I love Frank Henenlotter films, and I've got a nice book on Frank. So we're going to be doing movies like, you know, Basket Case and Brain Damage, Frankenhooker, which is my favorite. So there's going to be quite a few films that aren't talked about mostly. Your favorite Brian De Palma is Body Double. Have you ever covered that? No, I haven't, Chloe, but you can add it to the list. The gym teacher did the voice of the kids on the bike. Thank you for taking my request. Yes, Near Dark was one of your requests. And before I actually take the request, I have to look into it because sometimes there's nothing on the movie. Riggs, I love your guts. Have a good rest of your day. Sometimes there's just not enough on a movie. So it does make it hard to deep dive, especially when there really isn't much on a film. I'm lucky because I do have some older books for some of the older films, like Peeping Tom, which is one of like the first earliest slashers before Psycho. So I have quite a collection of stuff that I go through and read. Yeah, definitely. I do put them all up on my VOD over on my YouTube channel. I was editing my CCOHs and then re-putting them up, but I find that's way too much work for me. So I have been adding chapters to my lives. So once I'm done live streaming here, I'll go into my YouTube and I will chapter I just don't have time to edit. Between all that I do, I just don't have time to edit. Peeping Tom is a great movie. Of course. Thank you, Sarcastic. I really appreciate it. You just watched Peeping Tom? Yeah. Peeping Tom is really technically considered the first slasher. Actually, there's another one before that, but Peeping Tom should be first before Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Yeah. Shelley's Reegs, have a good day. I'll show you around my murder basement. I believe my murder basement visuals are on here, so you guys can see it. I will show you. Let me just see if it actually goes. So it doesn't. So just give me a second here to fix. Let's fix that. All right, so I need to activate it on. If you have OBS, and if anybody is interested in this, I use a program called OBS Droid Cam OBS. And what it is an app that goes on your phone, and it's a plugin that goes in on, It's a plugin that goes on your phone. Oh, I have to update my plugin. Give me a second here. All right, that is the start of my murder basement. Other parts of my collection are. That's here. That's one of my favorite posters there. It's numbered, it's signed. And one of my favorite video games of all time. Hooker. There we go. That's my murder basement. Have a good one, feed. Thanks. Shh, woman, what am I shushing about? Can we see the morgue one more time before done? Oh, do you need to see the morgue again? Do you need to see the morgue, Draven? Because I can do that. That was a great no sound movie. Well, yeah, I can't walk around and have sound because it doesn't have a mic. But yeah, that's my murder basement, and I've been collecting for over 25 years. Yeah, sure, not a problem. I can do that for you, Draven. Give me a second. That's my morgue. Nice, Chloe. I've got a couple of Chucky dolls. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I have a good guy doll upstairs in his box up in my living room. And then I have, bad Chucky over here. And then I have my Chucky collection over there. And I have my living room. One of these days, I will do a come look around my house because I have my collectibles around my house. Yeah, just have to ask, of course. Just, yeah. She just barely missed it since she had just arrived. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, maybe one of these days I'll do like a walk around my house, a walkthrough, and you guys can see what my living room is like and my bedroom and my kitchen, because I have horror art on the walls in my kitchen and my dining room. And then my living room, I have more of my collection. I still have a whole bunch of my collection in boxes and in closets because I don't have enough space. It's mostly my living dead dolls. And your bike, yeah, my motorcycle, vroom, vroom, but she's no longer in the house. She's in my garage. Yeah, Eccentric, you're right. We had my motorcycle in our dining room because it's cold here and we don't have a heated garage. So when Heavy was working on my motorcycle, he had to bring it into the house. Yeah. It is almost riding season. I love that you have some of your collection in the kitchen. Yes, I'll take some pictures and I'll put them up. Maybe I'll do a behind the scenes thing and throw it up on my YouTube membership. Heavy Garage is fairly epic. Yeah, Heavy's garage is fair. You should see his garage. It's fairly fucking epic. But yeah, when it's wintertime and it's cold and we have things to do on my motorcycle, it comes into the house. But she's good now. The only thing she is waiting for is a spiderweb sissy bar. One of my guilty pleasures is Rob Zombie. I love Rob Zombie. Don't you have skulls decorated? Yes, I do, Sarcastic Freedom. So when you look at my house from the street and you come walking up, so I have a little sidewalk and then I have my stairs to my front door. I have a deck and my stairs to my front door. When you come to my house and you walk up, I've got skulls buried underneath my stairs. This is 365. I don't give a fuck what my neighbors think. I have skulls underneath the stairs. Some of them are half buried. Others, you can kind of see them. And Halloween, I put a strobe light underneath there. But I do have some hands and some skeleton bones. Hi, Jamie. Then I have some baby doll heads on my banister and in my bushes. I have broken Barbie bodies. I have a sign that says haunted house, don't knock. But yeah, he needs need bigger doors. Yeah. But yeah, that's every day is Halloween by my house. I don't give a shit what my neighbors say. Do you have jump scare props? I do for when it's Halloween. I do not put my stuff out there all year long. Somebody has already stolen one of my baby. Who the fuck goes up to someone's house and steals a baby head? These baby heads are weathered and their eyes are painted black and they're ripped off of baby doll heads, like baby doll bodies. Like, who goes up to someone's house looking the way it does? Like, my house is not normal, and go up and take a baby doll head off the fucking banister. Like, who has the fucking cojones for that? Right? I was like, what the shit is that? I know. What is normal? Oh, thank you, Jamie, for the hearts and the roses. I appreciate it. Yeah, they did stay tapping. They just came right up and they stole my baby doll head. Sons of bitches. But yeah, I like having things hanging in my yard. I like being that house that is different than the rest of the houses on the block. I'm Halloween 365, my front yard, my backyard. I have this Heavy bought me waterfall thing, and it had birds where the holes were. So we ended up taking the birds. When we got the water fountain, someone stole the birds, which I don't care about the birds. Fuck the birds. We put eyeballs and black roses in them. So when it comes up, there's black roses throughout the little holes. And then at the bottom, where the water goes, there's water, and then there's eyeballs, and then I have a couple of ears and some fingers in there as well. So that goes on my back deck so I can have a nice relaxing time, not in the sun. Yeah, those birds, poor birds. That 5-year-old needed the doll head, that deck. Yeah, probably mischief maker. 10 to 1 say it was a kid. Most likely it was a kid. Off the banister, stay tapping. Here's a funny story for you. Delivery drivers do not come up the stairs most of the time. They put my food at the bottom step. Yeah, I have 4 steps. 4 steps to my door. I love ravens. I have a couple of ravens. My 5-foot Jack Skeleton inflatable got stolen one year. That sucks. And yeah, normal people scare me is the goth version of Live, Laugh, Love. 100%. But yeah, they leave my food on the bottom step. They don't come walking up. So when I used to stream full time, we'd have food delivered. Ake usually fed me, or Monkey. And yeah, they would never knock on my fucking door. I would get a text notification, hey, it's here. And then I'd go downstairs. It's on the bottom step. They never rung the doorbell. They never knocked on my door. And I'm just like, what the fuck? None of my shit. Well, maybe it'll come out and bite you. I don't know. Also, remember, for the hotel, Ra is not met at set of stairs that has not tried to kill her. Exactly. Jamie, how are you? How are you doing? How is your day going? There's an echo? Or is that like a thing there? It's your birthday. What? G friggin' G's. Happy birthday. Oh, yeah, that's weird that there's an echo. Yeah, really weird. There's only one sound source. But yes, guys. Yes, thank you so very much. Hey, Zombie Guts, how are you? We are at the end of our show, guys. I do want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for coming out on your Sinful Sunday to come and talk horror with me. We do this every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, you heard that right. All 3. I'm using 3 chats, and I'm talking to all of you on 3 chats. Carrie is a great movie. Jamie, you can catch the VOD. It will have chapters on my YouTube channel. So you can do that and check out what you may have missed today, because there's a lot of great information. Grape Juice Podcast Prep Time. Nice. We're going to do our credits here for those of you that are on the YouTube and Twitch side of things. If you're on TikTok or watching my short on TikTok, unfortunately, you will not see those credits. But thank you, guys. Thank you so very much for being a part of the live stream today and diving in with me. I really do appreciate it. I like that jewelry setup you got. Oh, my bracelet. It's a wolf. I have a Grim Reaper as well. I love these bracelets. I have a few of them. I love them. I'm going to have you TikTok on live again. Yeah, I do TikTok lives for Coffee Chat of Horrors. And on my gaming TikTok, I do my gaming channel stuff, right? Thank you, Stay Tappin'. I appreciate it. I love these bracelets. They're my favorite. But yes, you can catch Coffee Chat of Horrors next weekend at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. You know what? Are you feeling for tomorrow? For Sunday. You know what? We're going to get a little off topic and off of Stephen King. We're going to do the Poughkeepsie tapes next Sunday. Poughkeepsie Tapes is, I'm not a found footage fan, but Poughkeepsie Tapes is one of my favorite found footage besides Cannibal Holocaust. So we're going to do the Poughkeepsie Tapes next Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. That should be pretty interesting. If you haven't seen the Poughkeepsie Tapes and you live in Canada, you can watch it on tubi.tv. If you have a VPN and you live in the States, you can then catch it that way, but make sure you pick Canada, and then you'll be able to watch the Poughkeepsie Tapes. Speaking of gaming, I'm looking forward to the Terabytes documentary. Me too, Newman. Me too. I'm actually in talking with them. Chloe, thank you for the super chat over on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. But yes, thank you guys so very much for taking the time out of your busy, sinful Sunday to come and hang out with me in the Horde. I greatly appreciate your time. I'm definitely most likely going to stream Monday night on my Twitch channel, which we should be doing some more Killer and Dead by Daylight. I'm going to get back into the Skull Merchant and murderize some people. But I will see you guys later on. If you're in my Discord, I'm going to be doing some gaming. If not, I will see you guys Monday evening. Thank you guys so very much for coming over and hanging out with me. I hope you guys have the rest of an amazing weekend, what's left of your long weekend. I will zombie guts. It is a long weekend here, and I am super excited. So thank you guys so very much. I enjoy your long weekend. I love your guts, and I will slash us all later. Bye.